Hey guys, BKRose9 here, giving you another WWPL Season 1 matchup, as we are on the road today, which, technically not really, but you get the gist, in a Week 5 matchup against the Houston Golurks as we look to extend our undefeated streak to 5-0. Will we be able to do it? I hope so, as we have a tough team to break. As his team is Celesteela, Snorlax, Comfey, Regirock, Ariados, Ditto, Mega Venusaur, Gliscor, Suicune, Flareon, and Duosion. So there is a lot of bulk, a lot of threats, and a lot of impostering to do on his team. Looking at our team, we have Victini, aka Vanity, rocking the Psychium Z, the V-Create, Bolt Strike, Zen Headbutt, and Brick Break. The main thing is that I hit this Psychium Z on the Mega Venusaur. If we don't, we could be in a bit of trouble, but at the same time, Mega Venusaur cannot take... I don't think it could take two, but I know I can live one V-Create due to its ability. The Bolt Strike is for the Suicune. We've also got Brick Break to deal with Comfey setting up screens, as well as Suicune setting up screens. So, next up, we've got Koji, the Jolteon, running a Life Orb offensive set with Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Volt Switch, and HP Ice. Of course, Gliscor is the main switch in to Jolteon, so that is the biggest reason for HP Ice. Alongside that, Thunderbolt really hits hard on Suicune. Hits hard on Celesteela, probably one of our only counters for Celesteela, sadly. We've got Shadow Ball for the Duosion, and then Volt Switch just to keep the momentum up. Next up, we've got Karumi Tojo, our maid Leavanny, with Focus Sash, running Sticky Web, Poison Jab, X Scissor, and Leaf Blade. Before I get into the matchup, real quick, just a reminder, Ditto apparently copies stat changes after webs. So it'll go webs and then imposter, which really sucks because I did not know this, but you know, you live and you learn. So is what it is. We are also rocking Poison Jab, X Scissor, and Leaf Blade. Poison Jab, main thing for the Comfey. X Scissor just to hit hard with the ability Swarm, and then Leaf Blade for things like Suicune. But the main priority for this thing was to set up Sticky Webs. R.I.P. Next up, we got Zirconis, the Zygarde 50%, running a Life Orb, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Superpower, and Zen Headbutt. So, Earthquake, it just hits harder. Easy as that. He doesn't really have any Levitate users. He doesn't have things that actually take, that don't take, 1,000 arrows. I felt like Earthquake was just a better move in general to run for this team. Basics of that. Superpower, however, is for the Snorlax, and then Zen Headbutt again for the Mega Venusaur. Next up, we have Big Mac, our choice banded Primeape, running Earthquake, Close Combat, Ice Punch, and Gunk Shot. Gunk Shot for the Comfey, which is probably the big switch in for this thing. Close Combat for the Snorlax, which should one-shot most definitely. We've got Ice Punch for the Gliscor, and then Earthquake. I believe, from what I remember, was for the Regirock, if we ran out of close combats, which shouldn't be that big of a problem. And then finally we've got Juvia, our Blastoise, running Leftovers, Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, and Rapid Spin. If I can just get a Toxic on the Suicune, that's all we pretty much need to deal with Suicune. Unless something on there, I believe Comfy gets Heal Bell or Aromatherapy, one of the two. So we kind of got to watch out for that as well. Got an interesting setup with our EVs, because I just decided that I want to run a mixed bulky set. So it is what it is. And now with that being said, let's get into the battle. Yeah, of course, music. So as I can see, or as you all can see, my bad, he brings Celesteela, does not bring Snorlax, but instead brings Ariados, brings the Comfy. He does bring the Ditto instead of Gliscor, but other than that, he also brings the Suicune and the Mega Venusaur. Of course, we did get 4 of 6, so it's not as bad, but again, could be better. So, with that being said, let's get into the battle. So we start with Koji here, predicting it to be the Ariados coming out. He does, I do go for the Volt Switch as he gets Sticky Webs. This wouldn't have mattered anyways because he was Focus Sash, but goes for the Earthquake. And we then switch into our Zirconis, trying not to take too much. I was able to go for the Earthquake again, seeing that that does a lot more damage than usual, so it may not be a bold set. I then go into Kurumi to get up webs. He Synthesis on the occasion. He does Sludge Bomb as I get my webs up, and goal achieved for Kurumi. I then go into Vanity to take the Zen Headbutt. Zen Headbutt does half as he Leech Seeds me. At this point, I decide I am going to go for the Psychium Z, and he predicts me out, sacking off his Ariados. So that goal was not achieved at all. So he brings in Dante, his Ditto. Is going to copy the speed change, and this is where I kind of screwed up. So I end up going for the Rapid Spin, predicting a switch. I believe, right? Yeah, I do. This is what screws me up. So he gets up the Substitute as I try to Toxic the thing. Did not expect that. He then goes in and sets a Calm Mind on my switch into Jolteon. I'm luckily enough to fade it. The Substitute, sorry, and then he hits me with a powerful Scald. On the Thunderbolt, he then takes advantage and switches into Ditto. This is when I realized that it doesn't it copies stat changes before or after the webs, which sucks, but is what it is. Predicting a Flash Cannon or an Air Slash, I go into Victini. He predicts that, going for the Earthquake. I then go for the V-Create on the Ditto, and I was actually pretty pleased to see the damage on that. I then have to sack off Juvia, but he switches into Lily as I go into Zirconis. So I get really good damage on it as he Leech Seeds. I find out a few things by the end of the match, that this thing was not running any moves, like attacking moves. He was just running Leech Seed. Leech Seed Toxic, something, I believe. On my prediction, he does go into the Celesteela, which sucks, but is what it is. I then decide to sack off Juvia here, hoping for the burn. Did not get it, and this is pretty much where he's Athenia is going to start to clean up, but not without a few shenanigans as he goes into Water Doggo. I just tend to V-Create. I didn't see I seen him going into Ditto. That was just pretty much it. He ends up scalding and killing me after the Bolt Strike. A little note I made in the chat was just apologizing because, again, getting upset about all the switches and everything, the predictions, everything like that. You know, it's not like me, but seeing how good I've become, it gets to my head. Let's be real. I think it gets to everyone's head every once in a while. So he's just waiting to keep my stats lowered. I end up... Oh, it was not a crit, my bad. I end up killing the Comfy, making this a 4-0 loss as he cleans up the scraps. And... yeah. So, here's the thing that just kind of sucks. Seeing how I wasn't making the right predictions. I didn't know my stuff, I guess you could say, even though Pokemon Game Freak needs to really change that with the imposter and the stick webs, because I think it would be a lot better for mons that like need to transform and stuff, stuff like that, to copy the stats and then add the like effects, depending on if you're like switching in and transforming like Ditto does. Another thing, I just feel like I could have prepped a little better. Of course, I came back from Canada, having to prep, and yeah, just it happened. But there goes our streak. We are down to 4-1 with a +10 differential, which is better than I really have done. So it is what it is. Next week we go up against the undefeated Carolina Persians. Again, another tough team to face on our road to the playoffs. So, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below, subscribe for more content, and maybe some new upcoming stuff arriving soon, and comment down below your favorite Stallmon. Of course, I am in love. Well, I wouldn't say in love, but I am just so happy with Comfy. Of course, with Triage, it's just really powerful. Anything that's better than Clefable in that instance. So, until next time, Mikuins, peace out.